Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everybody's doing okay tonight. And I got to burn about 30 seconds to make sure I don't say anything that will offend the powers that be. I'm going to play this video I talked about of Mel Gibson. I hope I can say his name without too much trouble while we're waiting for folks to get in the chats. And let's see how well the video plays and how good my signal is. We shall see. Let's see, play. Oh, I got to cut my mic off. What am I trying to do here? Wait a second. There we go.
Endured 4 years of thinly veiled Marxism. And, now I think what we have is a 4-year grace period. But we have to work hard, all of them. And I don't know, the president's got a big job on his hands to turn this place around. A lot of damage was done, and they continue to start fires, just like around my house. But I'd like to thank what the general here is doing. He's no small part of this, because the problem here is many faceted. And for he and his sister Mary for exposing all these wolves in sheep's clothing that prey upon our young. I mean, I got 9 kids. I don't know, if one of them got stolen or trafficked or something, I'd have to kill someone. So that we tolerate this as we do. Well, we see people here we won't tolerate. And that should work. But look, I'm just happy to be here and accept this, very proud. And I hope in the next 4 years we can get back some of that precious commodity that this country has. That commodity called freedom, all right? So, and it's like, we'll see how much this administration can claw back from the Philistines. Okay, thank you very much.
Claw back from the Philistines. That's what the man said. How is everyone tonight? See what I got there? A meme says, we lied to you about the $50,000. You can't do this to me. That's what they're talking about already. The reward money for Luigi. Hi, Ann. How you doing? Dave, how you doing? Mac in the house. And Sissy, Sherry, Robin, nice to see you. David says, I got 5x5. Sandy, Elvira's got 5x5 too. Good. Debbie's here. KNS Cleanup. Hi, Wayne. Reminding everybody about the thumbs up. I know Araceli gives me thumbs ups. Ha, ha, ha. So anyway, folks, I'll try to remember to remind people in the broadcast because it helps the video get around. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. So, anyway, I remember I had I quit talking to a liberal friend of mine I knew for years. Okay. I just had enough of his listening to his garbage way before this stuff with Trump even happened. We were friends for like 20 years. We got in an argument 15 years ago. So you just give you perspective about this. When the EPA put out during the Obama administration, they put out a bulletin where they considered human breath to be a greenhouse gas. So this moron was arguing with me, and he said, you are always so negative and you think the government's so evil. I said, when they say the human breath is destroying the earth in their warped brains, and he said, no, you're just you're crazy. I said, listen, goodbye. I don't want to talk to you no more. We met sporadically for years. About maybe half dozen times a year we'd see each other. for 20 years, and that was the end of that. No more phone calls back. That was way before this argument. I forgot all about this character until I saw this in the Washington Post or New York Post. Humans may be fueling global warming by breathing. A new study. What did I tell you? I don't mind saying his first name because I doubt he'll ever listen to my broadcast. His name was Bill. What do you say about that, Bill? You bonehead Bill's what I call him now. So I was right, okay? As usual. Like Trump. Excuse me, I got to blow my nose. I got a little bit of a head cold. Yeah, but probably because they're up there spraying particles down on me. That's the next one. But anyway, folks, you all see the drones, Finally, Mr. T has said something about them. Oh, here's a picture of I'm gonna break hearts now. Some liberal hearts. There he is, Luigi. Luigi, turns out he's got a little sugar in his gas tank. Okay. Do tell. What a shock. Hi, Damon. How you doing? Nice to see you. Flannel cheese. Yvonne, how you doing? So anyway, yeah, that's what the word is. And I was wondering that about myself. I said, he's 26 years old, going on 27. And, there's all those social media history and stuff, and there you don't see any. Usually, you by that age, you've had somebody, from high school or college that you have a relationship with, a young lady that's your favorite, that you're going to marry, hopefully, and make an honest woman and make youngins. I was having to sip my coffee because that's what you're supposed to do. But anyway, now there's pictures like this popping up about him. Okay, I'm not surprised it's an angry gay guy, okay? So we'll hear more about him and talk more about him. But how did you like my thumbnail? My thumbnail picture. I got this picture we had from a while back from a 6-year-old picture, or going on 6 years old. Gitmo before and after, and before Trump and after Trump, and geriatric care ward. Remember, they're putting a geriatric care ward, and Nancy fell down in Luxembourg. They say, it's terrible. That happens with elderly people. But what do you think the chances are she's going to come back? I put Luxembourg in capital letters, right? Hi, Todd. How you doing? Who went to Luxembourg? Let me ask you the chats and see if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody went to Luxembourg, and there was some shenanigans going on over there. Do we have an extradition treaty with Luxembourg? They were doing a commemoration of the Battle of the Bulge. Gee, that's something else I talked about too. At the end of the Battle of the Bulge, Adolf's regime only had 100 days left. But from out of nowhere, it seemed like they were defeated. They were lost the Battle of Kursk. I've talked about that, which is where the conflict in Russia is right now, Kursk. And out of the blue, they launched Adrian's offensive, what it's called, that ended up culminated in the Battle of the Bulge. Shocked everybody. At its peak, it had over 1 million men involved in that conflict. So it was their last lashing out of the Third Reich. But anyway, So that Nancy was over there. You know, I don't remember too many congressional delegations. I know for D-Day, we have celebrations. And I just don't remember a lot of ceremonies being held in Luxembourg. Usually it's France, okay, or at the Brandenburg Gate in Germany. Hi, Rubber Toe, how you doing? Hi, Doc. Raven's Wings. Do you all remember a whole lot going on in the past with Luxembourg, having celebrations that congressional delegations would go to? I'm just moving these things around here. Let me see. Who's in the chats? Where'd my chats go? Daggone it. I'm trying to see my chats. Let's see. Who was in Luxembourg and is involved in investigative capacity, or used to be involved in investigative capacity? But anyway, let me see if I can find something. Give you all a hint. I am thinking, I could be wrong, that Nancy's not going to come back unless she gets an all clear signal. After she's going to be there in Luxembourg till the inauguration, I believe. They're saying she's got a fractured hip that may need surgery, and they're not sure if they're going to conduct the surgery over in Luxembourg or bring her back to the U.S. And there's nothing unusual about an 84-year-old or 81-year-old, however old she is, cracking their hip in a fall. Happens all the time. But I remember from the 17 posts that at a certain time, people would be, I have to paraphrase the post, they would be feigning illnesses, or existing illnesses would get worse as the pressure raised in an attempt to avoid accountability. Okay, you all remember that post? And we remember about the expansion of Gitmo. So, Luxembourg's been playing ball with the baddies, all right, or at least elements, rogue elements in Luxembourg have been playing ball with the baddies. How do we know that? We know that from Rudy Giuliani going over to Ukraine to investigate what happened to that prosecutor, what Joe Biden did, and where the money went. Where the money went when Biden said, son of a bee, right? And right now, this is the post Rudy Giuliani put up today. Let me get Nancy out of the way. Whoa, that's not the post. That's about the Internal Revenue Service. I'll put that up in a minute. This is the post. I stand with Rudy put up. Rudy left a kitchen and dining room table, huge hutch, bed, 2 TVs, 2 couches, 2 desks, and so many other items in a New York apartment. They have railroaded and shoved this judgment through before Trump's inauguration. Rudy says they're acting illegally. Who do you believe? I believe Rudy. But anyway, this post goes on to say Wilkie Farr and Gallagher, I guess those are the attorneys who have been hounding Rudy were filmed laughing and saying, "My husband would like this," and they broke stuff. New York Post, all live, Politico, Daily Mail, News Nation, New York Post, all live. And there's Rudy's apartment getting ransacked and run through because of the judgment for the claim that Rudy defamed people over the election process. I'll put it that way. Well, Rudy did a video. He held up a file. He said, "I have the bank records right here." He also had copies of Hunter's laptop, which I didn't used to be able to say. Now I can say it because everybody's talking about it. But anyway, he said he tracked the money, 10% for the big guy, $900,000. And he said it was laundered through Luxembourg. And you don't have somebody play that kind of ball with you, without the top people in government knowing about it. Okay? But we were also told that that's why I think Nancy wants to hunker down in Luxembourg, because maybe they don't have an extradition treaty. I don't know. And it happens right tomorrow, I guess it'll be 38 days before Trump gets in. And I have never heard of World War II ceremonies being held in Luxembourg that required any congressional congregation or whatever to go over there. And hey, we shall see. This guy, Luigi, he's mad at the healthcare system. Okay, he even they say his family's wealth is could possibly be north of $100 million. And then his grandmother, who died last year, I believe, or the year before, said anybody convicted of a heinous crime doesn't get anything in the will. So she doesn't control the whole estate, but, whatever portion he was supposed to get. So anyway, you have a troubled young man. A lot of people called him, before these pictures started showing up of him being whatever. They call them incels. They just can't have relationships. And then people fall back on this business of, he hurt his back and he couldn't have intimate relationships. But at the same time, you have people saying, he was playing volleyball and spiking the ball and jumping and bouncing around. And the times we saw him, he was very fit after his surgery, he claimed, and wrote on his social media that his surgery was a success. So, wait a second. I got something I want to show you. Did I crop the number out? Let me see. Yeah, right here. Here we go. A little something to think about. Somebody asks the question, this is the board. The board. A lot of you know what that means is the letter after the 16th letter in the alphabet. Excuse me while I need to hit the cough button. And I want to show you this post. Remember, when you go through these posts, that little blue chain link you see right there, don't click on that unless you want to see what everybody else is chatting about. It's a distraction. Unless you're curious about what other ideas people have, don't really click on that link. But anyway, I put in the word illness. And are all of the Anons safe, somebody asked. And that's one of the questions you would find if you clicked on that blue chain link. And once in a while, an operator or the operator would pick a question out from a group of questions and say, okay, let me answer that. Well, they gave an answer. And this is when they were talking about MK, okay, and then the ultra part, all right? They said, yes, target subjects are predisposable to certain mental illnesses. Target subjects are scouted over a period of time to study and arrange, quote, therapy. Therapy takes an X factor to break the mind into a functional, programmable device. Science fiction? Question mark. Okay, and in later discussions about this, they say think Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne, the Jason Bourne movies, where somebody, subject takes, in parentheses, X. What is X? Could be ecstasy or a derivative of it or some kind of regimen of drugs, okay, for their therapy, okay? And, but anyway, this describes what I just read to you describes what you see now on the screen. A Luigi, okay, that goes out and does something like this. All right? And then you have a preformed narrative to fall back on as the lone wolf narrative, and that they had a gripe rather than they were steered in the direction to commit an act like this. Don't you find that interesting? I most certainly do. Well, I want to tell Luigi something. His gripe wasn't with that healthcare guy, whatever his name was. I don't mean to disrespect him. I just don't remember his name. And it's a shame he's left children behind and a grieving wife, and he was a human being, and he was ambushed. Okay? Mortal sin. People say, oh, people break the 10 Commandments all the time because it says, thou shalt not kill. Well, no. It says, thou shalt not do murder, okay? There's a difference, all right? There's a difference between ending somebody's life in defense of your family or yourself, or in battle, a lawful defense of your country, all those, and many other scenarios where it is not a mortal sin. But to come up and commit murder, I'll say it this one time, and hopefully I won't get in trouble. The way he did is a mortal sin. It's violating the 10th one of the 10 Commandments, and he's got a lot of introspection to do. He'll probably never see the light of day again. It might take him out. Who knows? Who knows? But the point I was getting at is our healthcare system, just like so many other things that people in my chats and our mature generations, we know how things used to be. Used to be. People say used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away. Well, we won't sweep them away. We remember. And one of the things I remember is prior to Barack Hussein Obama, you paid your premiums. They weren't terrifying. You went to the doctor if you needed something, and your coverage was decent. You're good. I mean, nobody's totally happy with the insurance companies, whether it's car, house, or whatever. But it was affordable. Okay, and young people his age could even get it cheaper by getting catastrophic health insurance because you were young and yeah, youth is wasted on the young, but that's true. But the thing is, you had much less of a chance of coming down with arthritis or this or that. And you knew that if you kept yourself healthy, you would never have to avail yourself of the insurance. But hey, then again, if a piano fell on your head, a catastrophe happened. If you got diagnosed with a form of cancer, you were covered. And it was very cheap. It was not in the forefront of your mind every day. It was just writing a check for a bill like your lights or anything else. And that didn't consume you. But now it all consumes us. We're all worried, how the hell can I afford these healthcare premiums if I don't pay them and something bad happens? It costs $10,000 for a damn splinter in your finger. And it takes you 3 months to get to see a doctor. It didn't used to be that way. It didn't used to be that way where your hands were shaking opening up your electric bill in the winter. It didn't used to be like that. And so instead of doing what he did, he should have focused on the real cause of the what's going on in the healthcare system right now. And what you see on the screen is the real cause, okay? Right there. Not only the increase in premiums and the degradation of services and attitudes in the healthcare industry, but all the hate and division in this country we didn't used to have. Right there, you're looking at him, Barack Hussein Obama. So you threw your life in the trash pail, kid. And, if you are in a fog and if you can come out of a fog and maybe help get to the bottom of what caused you to do this, okay? If you were one of those people who were susceptible to what I just read to you, hi, MS Motorsports, how you doing? Tank, how you doing? KNS Cleanup. Did I already say? If I already said hi once, I say hi twice. Ha ha. So anyway, Theodosia said, yep, that's right, yep. Lone Wolf's here, all right. Everybody's getting in. So anyway, just a little something to think about. And the Babylon Bee's got to put up something to get ready to look at it in a lighthearted way, but also with some reality behind it. Assassin Luigi Mangione takes the lead in 2028 Democrat primary polls. Ha ha ha, that's a picture where he wet his pants. Well, he didn't wet his pants there, but he wet his pants when they arrested him. Here's what I was talking about last night. Rudy Giuliani retruthed this. He retruthed this from Hank Williams. I hope Trump puts Rudy in a very visible position to extend a hilarious liberal meltdown. I agree. But man, they're jamming it through. Here's a creepo right here. Well, I get to him. No, I'll go ahead and put him up. This creep right here. Jamal Bowman. Do you remember Jamal? Who the hell would ever think that we'd have... he says goodbye to Congress with a free Palestine. Okay? Remember, he was having a rally the same place in the Bronx that Trump had a rally and nobody showed up for it. And he acted like a complete desperate idiot with AOC. Remember that? Well, here he is talking about him dipping out of Congress. Wait a second. Let me get him up here. Come on, Jamal. Mr. Fire Alarm. Remember? Jamal Bowman, the fire alarm. It's not his fault. He lost. Let me tell you who he blames. Just listen to what he's got to say.
Wish I didn't pull that damn fire alarm. You know what I'm saying?
A candid admission by Congressman Jamal Bowman about a moment that made him the butt of jokes and landed him in court, pulling an alarm in a House office building, despite there not being an emergency.
Do you think you'd be preparing for another term right now if it weren't for that fire alarm?
No. Hell no. I mean, my district is a super pro-Israel district. The minute I called for a ceasefire, that was the last straw with many in the district. And I say last straw because, because I beat Elliot Engel, it was a target on my back from that community since then.
Oh, it wasn't because you were a Marxist, Maoist jerk that pulled a fire alarm and made an idiot of himself. It's the Jewish people. Oh, I should have known that, Jamal. That's why they threw your rear end out. And where's the next one? Here she is. Here's another one. On the way out. On the way out, Cori Bush gives her final remarks as a member of Congress. I didn't record this, but you know what? She's going to keep fighting. She's going to keep fighting for what's right. And she said the equivalent of hooray for Palestine. And so did Jamal. Well, maybe you both learned that you should have been standing up for your own damn country. Think about that for a while. Here's drones around the Statue of Liberty. I believe that's what this is. This is why I'm saying, our military isn't going to let us down. But I think they're doing heavy surveillance on vulnerable sites.
Bro,
you gotta be kidding me.
Don't tell me
right
I'm
now.
sitting here on this ferry and I see a slave going by.
No way.
Nah.
No. Yo.
There's reindeers on the front of it.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Oh my God. Do you?
Yeah, people are getting worried about him. I had a friend contact me and get my thoughts, and then they said, after I told them, I said, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Elon or Trump would have said something about it. And they thought I was a nut about a lot of stuff I talk about, a conspiracy nut. Well, they said, well, we think it's they're practicing to do a martial law, and because they don't want Trump to get in. I went, holy cow. I didn't expect them to think that way, but it shows you how much people are starting to realize that this is a dangerous, touchy time, a very dangerous and touchy time. But Mr. T did come out and say that the government, here we go, said a couple of things I like. But anyway, Mr. Jones sightings all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? That there's no question mark there. It's a period. I don't think so. Let the public know now and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. DJT. Well, what would I see a video after this? Some guy in New Jersey taking pot shots at a drone. What a dope. He's going to go to jail. They're going to catch him. He's committed a felony. Trump didn't tell you to get your dumb rear end out there and shoot them down. He's talking about authorized people in the government, not for everybody to. If he says, we got to end the cartels, if they don't, we're going to invade Mexico. Does that mean you come out of your back of your house, you idiots, and run into Mexico? But anyway, watch the Democrats try to make hay out of that. But anyway, so right there it's telling you, whoa, there goes my chat. Right there it's telling you Trump knows that the government knows what's going on. He thinks they should be transparent with the people right now, let them know what's going on. And otherwise, and if they can't give lawful answers, shoot them down. And what if my friend said there's some variant of what they're saying is true? Some rogue elements in the Biden administration are trying to cook up something. Okay? We'll get to rogue elements in a minute. But the next thing Trump said, I want to cover real quick before I go into other things. What have I been harping about? I said, come springtime when we're supposed to leap forward with our clocks, go ahead a half an hour, stop, leave it there forever. No more messing with the damn clocks. Go ahead 30 minutes and then stop. Split the difference and end it. Well, Trump said the Republican Party will use its best efforts to eliminate daylight saving times, which has a small but strong constituency, but shouldn't. Daylight savings time is inconvenient and very costly to our nation. Well, that is very true, but it is also a method of conditioning people to be subordinate and obey, and it messes with your biological clock. It messes with your circadian rhythm. People getting the rhythm of life, and here you got some knothead, egghead. We got to save daylight. Turn your clocks back because we said so. Oh, kiss my backside because I said so. Okay. But anyway, you got that message from Trump, and at the same time, Elon Musk put this out. Everyone, please stop creating fake narratives for war. The government puts this out. Iranian mothership. What was that guy's name? Van Drew out of Jersey. And then you got Senator Chuck Schumer, two Democrat senators out of New York and Jersey, holding press conferences talking about what a dire situation is and how scared people should be. Even though Jeff Van Drew is a Republican, I haven't heard squat from him through this entire battle. And we have been in battle, okay, for years, for a decade. We've been fighting, and I haven't heard Jeff Van Drew one damn time. I've heard Devin Nunes. I've heard Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and plenty of people in Congress that have been fighting the good fight for years. Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz. I didn't hear nothing about Jeff Van Drew until he pops up as an alarmist, claiming there's a mothership from Iran out in the ocean. People laughing at him. So anyway, yeah, it is a deep and then state operation going on, or it is something with the White House going on to secure areas or find people or objects that are a threat. There could be a lot of reasons they're up there. But like I said, the FAA knows what's going on. They're either that, or we have somebody with the power to override the FAA for nefarious purposes. But if they were going to hurt the American people, our military Space Force would not allow it. So don't get too upset over that stuff. All enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay, the Patriots are there. Speaking of that, there's something else I want you to think about. Well, before I put this up, I'll show you a couple of things when I'm talking about rogue operators. Okay, here, Newt Gingrich. He did a little thing on Fox News. You can get the time, you pull it up. It's just, he's talking about the fact that Joe doesn't have all his marbles. People are it could be fairly said, that people are taking advantage of him, calling shots that they shouldn't call. And he said, we have to assume Biden has some nutcase staffers doing dangerous things. So nutcase staffers I put in the rogue operators, rogue elements, that are functioning outside lawful government authority. So let me show you this clip. This has got Senator Kennedy, okay? Not to be confused with any of the Kennedy family, like Ted Kennedy, walk around in his boxer shorts and a glass of bourbon in his hand. Nobody said nothing about that. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this. He's talking to what I consider to be a rogue operator.
Duty, honor, respect. You talked about that
yes,
in
Senator.
your opening statement. On October 14th of this year, you went on CNN. I want to read you what you said. Make sure I'm accurate. Here's what you said. President Trump is not like any sane leader. I'm very proud of General Milley for saying that President Trump is a total fascist. To Bob Woodward, if he, as chairman of the Joint Chiefs, is calling the president a fascist, I'm so proud of him for breaking that barrier. The challenge is because most MAGA Republicans, they don't understand what fascism is. The reality is that they are, in fact, fascists themselves. Did I read that accurately?
Senator, I am happy to discuss my personal perspectives with you separately at any time. That's not the purpose of the hearing today.
Did I read that accurately?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. You think you're smarter than the American people, don't you?
Absolutely not, Senator. I am here to discuss the use of the military as part of this mass deportation.
You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you, General?
Senator, I am insulted by your comment.
Duty, honor, and respect. You talked about that in your opening statement, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Moran said, I wrote down her words. She said, by their actions, you know what someone's character is like. You agree with that?
Senator, for 35 years, I served my country with absolute honor and distinction, and I will continue to do so.
You agree with what Ms. Moran said?
Of course.
There's no honor and distinction in using that kind of language to denigrate the commander-in-chief, former commander-in-chief, and soon-to-be commander-in-chief. And I love the way Kennedy told him, you think you're smarter than the American people, don't you? You think you're more virtuous than the American people, don't you? So he's going out the door, this clown. And I've shown in the past where generals were demoted after they were retired and their pay was cut because they said Clinton was a pot-smoking bum. Okay? That's a heck of a lot less of a jibe than to call Trump a fascist. Okay? So that is one of the type of operators that have been in control in the government and in the military. And he's going to be gone. And rightfully so. Speaking of somebody else that's going to be gone, look here. She's pulling the stunt like Anna Navarro. I meant to say that. Have you noticed Anna Navarro on The View? Anna Navarro is really starting to accentuate her accent. When she's talking, she brings out her Mexican Latino accent more than she used to. But anyway, I guess whenever they feel threatened or whenever they want to say, hey, look at me, I'm from a different country, have respect. Like here's Ilhan Omar, she's got some traditional headwear on, and she's trying to soft soap what's going on. I believe she's going to be checked out, and we already know about her marrying her brother, immigration fraud. She needs to go. And another one you're not hearing anything out of is that Rashida Tlaib. She was being insightful at the Capitol. We all saw it. I played a tape of her being inciting people at the Capitol, and she wanted to go over and stir up trouble in Israel. You all remember that? Both of these clowns wanted to go together, okay, into Palestine, and Ilhan Omar wanted to go with her, and the Israeli government said, both of you stay the hell out of here. Remember that? And they were complaining and stirring up trouble. So anyway, let me play this video about whatever she's babbling about. Let me cut my mic off.
I am, as someone who was displaced because a dictator was overthrown in my own home country of Somalia and eventually experienced violence. I am really worried about what the future holds for the Syrian people, and I do hope that the international community stands with them as they try to figure out a path forward. Vividly remember when we got wind of the fact that we would get resettlement to the United States in that refugee camp in Mombasa, Kenya, my grandfather saying, we're not going to accept resettlement in any other countries. We want to go to America. Because he said America is where eventually everyone becomes an American. How are you even going to find people? How do you create the distinction? Are they going to pull people over that look like they might be an immigrant? Are they going to snatch people from their workplaces? Are they going to snatch people from their places of worship?
I want people to listen to that comment from Trump about what you would do with entire families of mixed immigration status.
We don't have to separate families. Yeah. We'll send the whole family very humanely back to the country where they came. That way the family's not separated.
The Democrats are the minority, a slim minority, but what does your party do about this if Trump does try to do that?
Well, we do what we have done in his previous term. This is, why we were warning people. We knew what he's capable of. We resist. We work with our attorney generals in states. We work with our governors. We work with our mayors. We have to do everything that we can. In Minnesota, there are so many counties where the county does not have a relationship with ICE, where they are not, identifying folks through that system. So we have to find ways to implement programs and carry out protections and boost advocacy. And fight like we've never fought before to make sure our communities remain safe and stable.
There we go. Family deported together, stays together. Did you catch that? First they ended up in Kenya. And the father said, no, we're not going to accept asylum here. We're going to accept only America because everybody becomes Americans. Well, not anymore, sister, okay? Because we know you married your brother. We know your father was involved in firing squads, illegal, okay, war crimes. And now he's in America driving an Uber and you're sitting in Congress? Okay, no, I don't think we need that. Asylum means you get the first safe place you get, accepts you, that's where you stay. You don't pick and choose your country. If they don't send you back to Somalia, Kenya, where you first went, okay, maybe you'll get that choice. But if you broke the law and committed an immigration crime, and remember when Trump was trying to do a rally in Minneapolis, and she was out there with a towel wrapped around her face incognito. She claimed she was overseas, but she was organizing violent protests at one of Trump's Minneapolis rallies. You all remember that? I remember it, and I'm sure Trump remembers it too. Okay? So, goodbye, Ilhan Omar. And as far as I'm concerned, Barack Hussein Obama can go too. Okay? He's going to, they say maybe Kenya. I don't know. Kenya don't want him. Kenya don't want him. Iron Clay, how you doing? Karen, nice to see you. Let's see, who else came? Yeah. Good. Talib needs to go. Hi, Darla. Send them back. That's right. Susan, how you doing? So, hi, Roland. So, well, get all foreign born. You had been talking about my mama, Roland. She came over here from Germany where all the Germs live. Hey, y'all want to see a tunnel? Here is where, now this is over in Syria. And you'll hear this guy plenty of times saying certain things, nothing dirty words, but you'll know which side he's on. But these are the tunnel. You try to estimate the width of these tunnels because they are driving in a vehicle. Try to estimate, put in the chats, how tall do you think the ceilings are in this tunnel first, and then how wide you think these tunnels are. Okay? I'll go ahead and play. It's about 2 minutes, but it's kind of mind-boggling to me.
نحن تحت الجبل بقلب الجبل هلا انت هاد شو اللي جوا تحت الارض انت سيارات فرجيك فوت الله اكبر طلع على اليمين الله اكبر يا عم ينحكر بعده كمان الله اكبر طلع بيحفر بصب وضل مكمل بيحفر بصب وضل مكمل طلع الله اكبر بالقوة في سيارات بشحمه جوا بشحمه تقول مصاري الشعب وين ليك مصاري الشعب الله اكبر هاي حفاره ها منو فاضي يعمر البلد كان عم يعمر تحت الجبل اخو لحظه عم يعمر تحت الارض كان عم يعمر تحت الجبل اخو الملكات الله اكبر يا ابن الحرام روح اسرع شوي قاعده صواريخ هاي الحمله تبع الصاروخ الصوت كثير مطولين لنوصل لاخره ما فيش اخره يا لطيف ما فيش اخره منين تطلع ما بعرف بس رجعنا كثير نكمل يا لطيف طلع السيارات لك شحمه طلع الدواليب طلع الدولاب جديد السيارات بعدها هاي سيارات شو سيارات بالورق ما بعرف شو في بقلبها مدر ما شفته شو في بقلبها ما قدرنا نفتحها كلها ابكوا ها شلون ما رفعتوا الشاشه شفتوا بقلبها مثل مولدي او شيء احنا منين جينا؟ من هون اسحب ضيع يستر عرضه ضعت انا اول امبارح انا ورق فطلع طلع المستودعات ها قاعده صواريخ معلم هاي السيارات فيها بطاريات تبع السكود اكيد ما في اخر قلت لي ما عرفت اخره ما عرفنا اخره بس رجعنا نكمل بس لا تفوت خلاص انا رايي ارجع يلا رجعين لما نضيع مو مشان شيء رجعين يلا طلع الله اكبر الله اكبر شوف مصاري الشعب وينه الله اكبر الله اكبر
We hear him saying about 20 times, hello there, snack bar. Hello there, snack bar. But, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Let me see. Where my chat's there. I was thinking the same thing, Pappy Two Bears. I was thinking wider, though. 15 high, and I was thinking Probably, I was thinking closer to 20 feet, but you might be right. KNS 15 by 15, but those ceilings are at least 15 feet high. I see people have got different ideas on the height, but they're pretty. And what they were used for, you saw those big trucks, right? If you'll remember back during Desert Storm and when we invaded Iraq, what did Saddam Hussein use? Very similar to the V-1 rocket that Adolf used. And everybody was going, oh my God. And they're mobile. What kind of missiles did they use? Who remembers? That's right. Dixie said hit the like button. Ha ha ha. Appreciate it, Dixie. I keep forgetting. But they're semi-trucks you see up there against the wall. That's right, Roland. Scud missiles. Scud missiles. And that's what those trucks were. I couldn't see if there were any missiles on the backs of them. But they left a launching semi-trucks that were used to launch the Scud missiles. So that's what that facility is for. And I'm sure it's one of many. And what somebody said, who builds these things? Well, a lot of the bunker designs and engineering came out of Germany. And they've come a long way in the last half a century on building bunkers. So anyway, here's a nice little something to play here. I remember exactly what the music is, but they thought about putting Zelensky as Man of the Year. Did you all hear that? Ha 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 ha. Did y'all like that? You want me to play it again? I faked you out, didn't I? I faked you out. Y'all thought Zelensky was on Time magazine? Everybody's doing that dance now. Here, let me see. What's this? This is New York Stock Exchange. You know, who was the last president to come to New York Stock Exchange? Let's see who gets it in the chats. Who was the last? No goggling. I know a lot of you know probably who was the last president to ring the bell at New York Stock Exchange. That's right, Reagan. The big R, double R, Reagan. Back in the 80s, Debbie got, KNS got it. Let's see, Ravens, Wings, Sissy, Roland, yeah, Miss Mendersu. We all probably voted for Dixie said, boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, he did it a long time ago. Let's hope we have an even better revolution than the Reagan Revolution. It's hard to believe what we've been through. I forgot to play this when I was talking about Fancy Nancy Pansy Pelosi. I think she's seeking asylum in Luxembourg. That's what I didn't hear any eyewitness accounts about what caused her to fall. And that picture of her in a hospital gown is AI. Okay, folks, that's not a real picture. Did you all see this? This is the second time this happened to her. Just the crowd can't stand her. Let me play this for you.
Issues.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So you.
Don't worry about that. I'm from San Francisco. I'm used to this.
We have an opportunity for the audience to ask questions, so we'll wait till the end of our conversation to do that.
See, they'll get what they want because all the press will say is that we got interrupted.
All right, so you never know what to expect at the 92nd Street Y. I'll wait a second to continue.
Let us bow our heads for the hostages and be prayerful about the hostages, which they never mention. So.
Well, she's still got political instincts because she pulled that out of her hat, to pray for the hostages and get the crowd to be turned around a little bit. Did you all see this clip here? You know how cool under fire Scott Jennings is? This is a quick clip, but he got a little mad. He told this guy, "Get your hands off me." Did you all see this?
Things were real. What Scott was not accurate about, which kind of happens around the table sometimes, although I know you want to be.
Don't touch me.
I can't touch you.
All right, everybody keep your hands to yourselves at the table.
All right, but one of the things Scott was not accurate about.
Yeah, he said, "Get your hands off me," and then he folded his arms. He didn't care for that, but he's usually pretty cool under dealing with a bunch of negative Nellies. I have got a clip I wanted to play for you all the other night. Where is it? It kind of speaks for itself. We're seeing an acceleration of things going down. Let's see if I still got it in my studio. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, Mr. Clip? Y'all stick with me while I'm trying to find this clip. Well, if I can't find, I'll save it for, what in the hell? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Man, if you could see how much stuff I got in my studio. There's a productive American citizen right there. On an all-American diet, looks like, not the steak and potatoes we used to have, but a lot of soy and seed oils and chemicals. But anyway, let me go ahead and play this clip for you.
A Huron middle school teacher is on unpaid leave tonight, accused of sending nude pictures to someone he thought was a 14-year-old girl.
And according to court documents, it wasn't a girl, but a teenage boy who made a fake Snapchat account and was catfishing him. Keloland's Dan Santella joins us now with a closer look at this unusual case. Dan?
Zachary Katarabek stands accused of 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, along with 2 counts of solicitation of a minor. He's scheduled to be in court in January when he'll have to respond to the charges. For 4 years, Zach Katarabek was trusted to teach students in the Huron School District. But in May, court documents say a 12-year-old girl told a friend the teacher had added her and messaged her on Snapchat, which made her uncomfortable. That friend responded by making a catfish or fake account posing as a 14-year-old girl named Kate. He added Katarabek on the social media app. The two exchanged numerous messages. Court documents say when Kate said she was 14, Katarabek responded, quote, "Oh, so only 4 more years," and a winking face. The documents also say Katarabek made sexual comments and sent photos of his genitalia. When investigators confronted Katarabek, he admitted speaking with the minors on Snapchat and sending them 4 pictures of his penis after Kate told him she was underage. Tonight, Katarabek is still listed as a middle school teacher on the Huron School District's website. However, the school board took unanimous action yesterday on the status of his employment.
To change Zachary Katarabek's leave from, or administrative leave from paid to unpaid. Is there any discussion or comments? Okay, seeing none, we will vote. Those in favor will say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Dan Centella, Kelloland News. Today I received an emailed statement from Huron School District Superintendent Craig Steinhoff. It says in part, quote, "The Huron School District is communicating with its attorney and is cooperating with law enforcement. All policies, procedures, and laws are being followed." The full statement is included in this report.
Did you catch that? They had him on paid leave, and then when the word got out, they put him on unpaid leave. They should fire his ASS right away. And one of the things we need to do is pass a zero tolerance policy, federal law, zero tolerance policy for any of that kind of behavior in the schools. Any S3 actual themed groups or organizations with their bedroom preferences need to be banned from schools, okay? Purple hair, tattoos, flags, all this stuff is nothing but to denote somebody's bedroom preferences. And that should be zero tolerance, barred from every school in this country, federal law. This is the very small tip of the iceberg. Very small tip of the iceberg. But he needs to do, time, serious time. Speaking of doing time, I showed you clips from people in Chicago. That's where Hussein made his political bones, was Chicago, right? Well, Tom Homan's becoming a hero in Chicago. And here's a New York Post border czar. Tom Homan vows to hit Chicago first with mass deportations. And he said on an interview, and everybody in Chicago love to hear it because it's true. Your mayor sucks and your governor sucks. Okay? So Tom Homan's coming. Dun, dun, dun. You better get ready. Okay? And it's not going to be any fooling around. With the creepos I just showed you, and with these people that are breaking the law by harboring illegals, okay? Illegals. They all got to go. And there was something else about Chicago. Let me see. I might not have put it in the studio. They did a poll where every president, Hussein, every candidate, Hillary, Hussein, Kamala, Biden, in this one district in Chicago were up like 80%, 85%. And the support in that particular ward collapsed. Let me see if I can find it. Anyway, it's a sea change. I guess it's hard to see these little numbers on the screen, but we all know it's a sea change that's coming. And here, speaking of sea changes, in Argentina, inflation under Javier Milei in Argentina in 2023 was 25%. In 2024, 2.47 or 2.7. I got a clip I want to play you all for you all of Javier Milei, a blast from the past that I'm sure you will enjoy. Let me see if I can find it. Javier Milei. Let me see. Where are you, Javier? This might. Let me see. This might be it right here. Oh, here he is. Here he goes. All right. I made it big so you can read the words because he talks fast and he talks in his native tongue.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
Pero ¿me podés definir zurdo de mierda? Que no
Todos
lo
los que, digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea... A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda. O sea,
vos mezclás...
no,
pero
es que si pensás distinto te van a aniquilar. Ese es el punto. Es decir, vos al zurdo no le podés dar un milímetro, porque le das un milímetro y lo toma para destrozarte. Es decir, digamos, o sea, vos no podés negociar con el zurdo. No se negocia. No se negocia con esa mierda, no se negocia porque te van a llevar puesto. Si tienen un golpeador que caga trompadas a la mujer, digamos, si es de ellos... ¿Me entendés? Se pone el pañuelito verde y grita todo el tiempo contra el neoliberalismo, lo ocultan. ¿Me entendés? O sea, si de repente hay alguien que acosó a un periodista que acosa a otra periodista, lo ocultan. Es decir, a todos los de ellos lo ocultan. Todas esas aberraciones la ocultan. Ahora, si vos estás del otro lado, a vos te van a estropear, te van a matar, te van a dar con lo que sea. No les importa arruinarte la vida. ¿Por qué? Porque no pensás como ellos. ¿Y sabés qué es lo bueno de todo esto? Hay algo bueno en todo esto. Porque como el error es humano, como todos nos podemos equivocar, ¿sabes qué nos obligan? Nos obligan a ser mejores. Y como estamos siendo tan mejores que ellos, como los estamos aplastando en la batalla cultural, los estamos pasando de arriba, porque no solo le ganamos en lo productivo, somos superiores moralmente, somos superiores estéticamente, somos mejores en todo. Y les duele. Entonces, como no pueden pelear con las herramientas legítimas, se apalancan en el aparato represivo del Estado, poniendo torres de guita para hacernos mierda. Y aún así no pueden. Tuvieron que bajar la nota. ¿Me entendés? Que están perdiendo. Están desesperados, están perdiendo la batalla cultural. Los zurdos de mierda, por primera vez, se ven acorralados. Los zurdos.
I think it's great. They're desperado. So, I said, we're better looking than them. We're morally better than them. We're more productive than they are, and they're losing, and they can't stand it. It's driving them nuts. So, yeah, he's right. I got a video here. I don't even know what it is. Wait a second. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Let me see what this video is. I had fun watching that one. Let's see what this one is. Oh, this might be about, I don't know. Let's all find out and talk about it after this is done. Let me see. Fox News, whatever it is, I don't remember. I'll play it to cut my mic off.
Joining me now, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Texas has its act together on the front lines of this battle with the illegals. But do you think it's time, Dan, for people like these sanctuary mayors to themselves pay a price if, in fact, they try to thwart the federal government's sole and supreme responsibility to enforce our border laws?
Absolutely, Laura. When I became lieutenant governor back in 2015, one of the first bills we pushed was no sanctuary cities in Texas, and we don't have any sanctuary cities in Texas. I'm absolutely disgusted by every act of this administration and every act of every Democrat in every blue state and blue city. They are undermining the will of the people. They are putting their people into harm's way. And Tom Homan, he's the new sheriff in town. They better pay attention. And Pam Bondi, she'll prosecute him. They'll put him in jail. It's a felony if you conceal, as Tom Homan said, or hide an illegal alien. Remember, Laura, in this group of illegal aliens are likely terrorists. We know we've arrested many across the border in the last 4 years, but we don't know who they are, or they're murderers, or they're sex offenders, or they're rapists. This is outrageous. And let me tell you what, every blue state governor and mayor who does this, you better buck up, Buttercup. I don't care if you're male or female. We mean business in Texas, and Tom Homan means business, and President Trump means business. And I don't know if you heard the latest today, Laura, but Joe Biden is now hauling off the border wall that's been lying down for years, and he wants to auction it off starting at $5 a piece. Message to the White House right now. I will bid on all of that wall, and we will buy it in Texas, and we will give it to Donald Trump. So I'm going to find out first thing in the morning where are we going to take the bid. I've got $1 billion in my pocket to do it. I write the budget with Senator Joan Huffman. We have the money. We're going to have about $6 billion in our budget for border security.
Dan, don't drive up the cost. Don't drive up the cost. The first bid is only $5 a piece of the wall. But
and I will go in and buy it all.
Yeah,
I'm not going to drive.
What does that tell you? Yeah, well, what does this tell you about the Biden people?
It tells you
they're essentially green lighting. They want more people coming in. Yeah.
They're despicable in what they're doing to the American people. And the American people obviously aren't going to tolerate it. That's why they were thrown out. But the idea, we've been trying to buy this wall from them for 4 years, and they wouldn't sell it to us. And you know what? I'm going to check in with our Department of Public Safety. Maybe we need to start pulling over these trucks to be sure they don't have too much weight on those trucks. Maybe these trucks need to be slowed down. We need to do everything we can in Texas to stop them. The taxpayers paid for this, and they want to stop President Trump in 38 or 39 days from rebuilding the wall. I want to, the legacy of Joe Biden, he lets off his son. He's letting off all these criminals. He's doing everything he can with these blue state governors and mayors to destroy this country. They are traitors to this country, leaving terrorists, leaving murderers, leaving rapists in this country. And now he wants to sabotage this president before he takes off. It is disgraceful and disgusting. He will go down as the worst, most despicable president in the history of this country because no one has done more to damage this country and hurt American citizens.
I would agree with you on that. Dan, as always, it's great to get
perspective, and thank you.
So, I like the idea of having the state boys pull them over and say, wait a minute, let's see if you're overweight or not. What the hell's going on here? What are you hauling? Because it's our damn wall they're trying to sell for pennies on the dollar. But like he said, he's got a kludge of money. He's going to bid on it. And if somebody's smart, they won't bid against him. Okay? They won't bid against him. Going to bid against your own country? But I like that idea of, he said all the things I got to be careful of saying. Did you hear what he called them? He called them the big T word, as in raiders, traitors. Let's see. Yeah, that's right, from invasion. That's right. That's what they're trying to do to us, Karen. That's what they're trying to do. Invade our let's see, what's this next one? I was supposed to play that after I put up that one with Tom Homan, and but anyway, it don't matter. All right, let's see what's this one. Let me see. Let's play this one and find out. Have a little fun with clips. Since my brain doesn't work anymore and I don't remember what they are. Let me see. Cut my mic off and.
New at 4, President Biden's decision to grant clemency to nearly 1,500 people is the largest act of clemency by any president. It's being met with anger and frustration, though, in Dixon, Illinois.
That's because Rita Crunwell's name is on the list. She pled guilty to stealing $54 million from taxpayers in the largest municipal heist in U.S. history.
We're not taking any questions.
Do you have anything you want to say to the people of Dixon?
Rita Crunwell was a humble public servant by day, but lived large in almost every other part of her life. A 20-year fraud on her hometown of Dixon, Illinois, that totaled $54 million.
Don't you think you owe the people of Dixon an apology, Rita?
Now, another gut punch for the people of Dixon. Crunwell's name is on a list of 1,500 people granted clemency, meaning her punishment is over.
We're just shocked, outraged. As a community, we feel betrayed by the justice system, by the president.
Danny Langloss was Dixon's police chief when Crunwell's crime was exposed.
She pled guilty to a very serious crime, got near the maximum, and served 8 years. What message does that send to the victims, to our community, and to people across the country who think about doing something like this?
Crunwell was a world-class horseman with a stable and possessions worthy of a queen. She left the impression she served as Dixon's comptroller to give back. The charade crumbled in 2012.
$54 million in a little podunk Dixon, Illinois. I said it in many times in past broadcasts. You would be surprised what could be happening in your own backyard. You would probably be shocked at how much your either the town you live in or a neighboring town or what your county has for a budget. The money, the amounts are staggering. And there's nepotism, grift, and embezzlement, and all kinds of fraud going on. And people just don't have any idea how terrible it is, how bad it is. Here's these two boneheads. Van Jones, he's a commie. He said he's a commie. I call it, if you're going to call yourself a commie, I'm going to call you a commie rat. But that's just me, okay? But let's listen to what these boneheads got to say about what's going on with their air quotes movement.
We woke up in a body bag on election day and didn't even know it. Why? Because we thought that because CNN, NPR, New York Times, all of the mainstream media was pretty much beating hell out of Trump, that Trump was getting the hell beat out of him. The mainstream media is actually now, by the numbers, the fringe. And the fringe,
I know it,
by the numbers, is now the mainstream.
I know it.
Tell me that we're the mainstream when, if I'm sitting next to Anderson Cooper, I'm talking to 1 million people, maybe 1.2 million. Down the road, if on Fox, we're talking to 3 million, maybe 3.2. And there's some Twitch streamer you've never heard of, talking to 14 million people.
Totally agree.
So
totally agree.
Hold on a second now. The fringe is now the mainstream, and the mainstream is now the fringe. We got beat on platforms I've never heard of: Twitch, Kick, Rumble, Roblox. All these platforms sound like symptoms of somebody in the hospital. Okay, Twitch, Kick, Rumble. What is it? And they and don't let me just say this now, because the problem you're going to have now is when Joe Rogan sits down with Donald Trump, 48 million people watch the YouTube of the podcast. The YouTube. We didn't have that many people watch the debate on CNN. So, guys, get out of my face. We had the wrong analysis. We didn't even have the conceptual framework to understand what's happening to us.
That's right. You were playing a different game, basically.
And if you can't start with that, if you don't know who Kai Cent is, then you don't get a chance to run politics in America.
Nobody watches you nitwits anymore. Nobody cares what you have to say. And I had another clip of the same two morons. I'll save it for the next broadcast because I just love it. Where they admit that Donald Trump is way the hell smarter than they'll ever be. Look here. Here's something. Here's a couple of things from Elon Musk. Reposted this from Prometheus. The IRS received $46 billion in extra funding for enforcement and raked in a massive sum of $4.7 billion. They received $46 billion in extra funding and raked in $4.7 billion. They're not there to collect money. They're there to oppress intimidate, okay, and maybe drop the hammer. IRS rakes, but the Epoch Times puts it up as IRS rakes in $4.7 billion through enhanced tax enforcement. But it took them 10 times that. And every red cent of that $4.7 billion was shipped directly to Ukraine. Nick Sortor put out. Boy, ain't that the truth. Here's that one I was talking about. Here it is. That area in Chicago, Illinois. President Obama plus 82. Obama plus 83. Clinton plus 81. Biden plus 75. Guess what? This time Harris was only up plus 12. Plus 12. That's a collapse of 70 points, roughly. 88% Latino, 93% which is Mexican, 11% bachelor, 5% bachelor degree, 5% graduate, average income $51,000. And that doesn't account for FRAUD, okay? FRAUD. But here's a sign of a bright future. Citizens Free Press put this up. I didn't know this. The 2030 Electoral College forecast. Do you know Texas and Florida gained electoral votes because of the census? Texas gained 4 electoral votes. Florida gained 3. Okay? So, in total, California lost 4, New York lost 3. It all got swapped over to Texas and Florida because people are running like hell from these crazy-ass liberal cities in California and New York. Overall, Republicans are up 12 seats. Democrats have lost, 12 electoral votes, and Democrats are down 12 electoral votes. So if they would have adjusted, Trump would have been 324 electoral votes and Harris 214. So it bodes well for us in the future. And here you go. The post-millennial put up. This is driving the liberals crazy too. New J.D. Vance invites Daniel Penny to be his guest. This is tomorrow, folks. The Army-Navy game. All right, that's going to drive them nuts. That place is going to go wild because Daniel Penny is a hero, whether they like it or not. New York Post reveals FBI spied on its likely new director, Kash Patel. Well, you can lay dollars to donuts that anybody of consequence that supported Donald Trump has been spied on by the FBI and the other 3-letter agencies. So it's no surprise there. What's this one? Pete Hegseth, President-elect Trump's nominee for Secretary of Defense, will be meeting. This is from Newsmax. I don't understand this. He'll be meeting with Trump, the incoming president, at the Army-Navy game Saturday. What does he mean? What do they mean? This is Newsmax. What do they mean he's going to be meeting? They're going to the game together. It's weird how they put these articles out. It doesn't sound like they're totally on Team Trump, but maybe I'm being a little judgmental. Look at this jerk. You talk about somebody sweating, and he's not going to be worth Biden's time, this jerk right here. All right? Benny Thompson. He says he would accept a pardon. J6 Committee Chairman Benny Thompson said he would accept a preemptive pardon if one was issued by President Biden. It's the president's prerogative if he offers it to me or other members of the committee. I think I would accept it, but it's his choice. Hey, if you accept and pardon it, If you're not guilty, you don't need a pardon, bonehead. So what are you admitting to the people? What are you admitting to the American people? What's this? Be careful, YouTube. Community Notes is watching. Get a load of this, folks. A message for our members. We've always worked to offer the content you love with features, blah, 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 blah. We're updating our monthly price to $82.99 a month. I don't subscribe to any of that stuff, but who the hell would pay $82.99? Readers added context. They've now doubled the price over the last 5 years. The last price increase was in April 23 at $72.99, up from $64.99, a 12% increase. For reference, it launched at a cost of $34.99 in 2017 when Trump first became president, a total increase calculating at over 137% inflation adjusted. So from the time Trump took office in 2017, it was $34.99. Now it's $82.99 a month. This platform is going to be next as far as suffering financially. What's this one? Oh, Jamal Bowman said goodbye. We already know about you, Jamal. Get out of here. Get out of here, you bum. Dan Scavino put up something we've been saying for a long time. Congratulations, 45 and 47. What a time to be alive. History continues to be made. We will never see anything like this in our lifetime again. Gives you an idea what's coming, folks. Our children will never see anything like this in their lifetime, and our great-grandchildren will never see anything like this in their lifetime. What a journey. We were chosen for a reason, folks, and there's Mr. T on the cover of Time magazine down on the bottom right, left. So, yeah, he's not putting this post up for nothing. And, hey, that's what leads to the reasonable, rational concerns that people have. What could these desperate animals do? What could these desperate animals do? So, hey, we'll keep our heads on right. I got a clip I want to go out on. I appreciate everybody that's giving me a thumbs up, and I want to welcome my new subscribers and everybody that's helped me out on Buy Me a Coffee, because I get no revenue from any source, YouTube or Bumble or anything. I'm totally viewer supported. I appreciate your support very much. I got a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee. Where's this clip I want to play y'all on the way out? The duplicity of boneheads. Right here. Bonehead duplicity. Let's see. Right here. Right here. So I'll go ahead and play this clip. I hope you all enjoy it. And I appreciate everybody that's spent their precious time with me, and everybody who watches the broadcast after the live stream. But you know, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I go live, and you can join us in the live stream, or just sit back and watch the chats go by and enjoy yourself. And we'll get together real soon, right, folks? So enjoy this clip. You all have a great night. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.
President-elect Trump says he is going to pardon January 6th rioters. We don't know which ones or how many in the first hour after he is inaugurated. How do you feel about that?
I think that is a terrible idea. These are people who have been duly tried and convicted in a court of law.
How do you feel about President Biden issuing preemptive pardons?
John, I respect the quote you just read from one of the folks on Kash Patel's enemies list. I'll just remind you that to be investigated by the FBI, prosecuted by a U.S. attorney, can cost a defendant hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars. and can be profoundly disruptive to their lives. I spoke to Senator Schiff this week on the floor, and he has made similar statements that he and I think Liz Cheney, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, has also made this statement that they don't want to be pardoned because they've done nothing wrong. And I admire their determination to trust our legal system and to stand up to the bluster and the threats of Kash Patel and President-elect Trump. But I think part of why there is some consideration being given to proactive pardons is the cost and the disruption and frankly, the disrespect for the work of Congress that underlies a threat to try those who served on a committee of the House of Representatives.
You want to play games? Okay. Have to play with it. Come on. Okay. You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.